time, I guess, Coach Blackson come back up here and talk now.
I did not call him, by the way. But my statements are going to sound very similar to his. All right, so that speaks volumes for the young man I'm going to talk about now. First thing I want to reference, though, is it's the first time I've probably been blessed to do, I don't know, maybe 100 of these in my time as a coach, track, football, whatever it was. I've never seen a kid that played with some of these kids talk about them. It's the first time I've ever got to see that, and that speaks volumes about both these young men. To have one of their ex-teammates come back up and be able to stand up here and talk about them, that says a lot about them and him being able to do that. All right? You know, I always knew who Noah Gregg was. Again, coming out of youth league, I didn't hear Noah Gregg. Man, Noah Gregg. No, I didn't hear that. All right? Noah walked out on the youth league field this year. I was coaching. I was helping with the little youth league, and Noah starts pointing. He said, "Coach, who that look like that guy? That look like who that look?" Omar was out there with us. Coach, who that look like that guy? I said, "No." So you look like that guy. And he looked. He said, "There's nobody over there, Coach. There's a fence post." That's who you look like. I said, me and Josh were standing there one day, and I said, "Where's Noah?" We're looking. We're out on the field. It was him and a fence post lined up. I walked right there for just a minute. So, you know, again, let me go back and say, you know, this wasn't some 6'3", 220-pound kid coming out of youth league that everybody was thinking, this is going to be the, you know, this kid worked. All right, and he found his deal, and he went at it. And I watched him do it 2 years ago. You know, in track, he came out, I talked him into coming out from track. All right, and Mikey Peru's telling me, "Coach, this kid can throw the javelin." I was like, I don't know. I don't see it. He can throw it. All right, and he can do a lot of other stuff too. But the best story I've got with him in track is this. We had 3 guys that weren't going to qualify for the state track meet. They were older kids. You know, it was a situation where I was like, man, these guys just ain't going to qualify. I said, I got a plan. Let's put him in there with them. All right, let's put him in there with them, let them run a relay. All right, we're at Muscle Shoals. They run it for the first time, and I can hear it from the stadium. My phone starts going crazy. Coach, they PR'd like 2 minutes. All right? Now, did he knock his time down? Absolutely. You know what else he did? He knocked all 3 of the other guys' time down too. Because he told me before he ran it, he said, "Coach, if I'm going to do this, we're going to be good at it." I said, "Amen, brother. Let's get it." He's an effective kid. He affects kids, which is a great character trait. He has guts. Probably some of the best I've seen in a long time. You know, there was one night he ran the 800, which if you don't know what that is, that's 2 laps around this track. And we need you to run it in 2 minutes. All right? I can't drive it in 2 minutes. All right? We need him to run it in 2 minutes. He takes off. I think we're at sectionals. He take off. I put the clock on him. I looked at Josh and said, he's going to die. Like, he's not going to make it. He's running. I mean, at one point, he's looking at me like, "I hate your guts." I said, "I love it. He's running." Right? He runs like a PR, helps us win sectionals 2 years in a row and all that kind of stuff. So I'm at a lunch one day, and you know, there's some, and this should tell the story to everybody in here, kid-wise, that you never know who's watching. There's people all at the table that I really don't know. And a guy says, "I tell you what, I went to a ball game the other night, and I saw a kid. I saw him last year, and I saw him this year, and he might be the most improved kid I've seen all year." And I listened. I was like, who's talking about? He talks. He said, Gregg, something Gregg. I was like, okay. They didn't know. I guess they knew who I was. I was sitting there listening, and they told their story about he did this, and he caught that, and he ran this. And I said, I let them finish their whole story, and I said, let me tell you something. I said, he's a better kid than he ever will be a player. All right, he's a better kid than he ever will be a player. All right, that's a compliment to you and your family and everybody involved. My 7-year-old idolizes a bunch of y'all. He's one of the ones that he idolizes. So he tells me the other day, he says, "Dad, I want to go out and do this and do that and do this." And I think this speaks volumes when, I told him, I said, "Here's what we'll do, buddy." I said, "I've got a guy, and I'm going to let him coach you." All right? Now, we'll talk about rates at some point, so I don't know how much you're going to charge me for that. But, that's what these kids mean to me. All right? Because I know them. I see them. Now, do they make mistakes? They do stupid stuff all the time. We all did. Now, if we're gauging it off that, I wouldn't be standing where I'm at today. That's for sure. coachable, probably more than he'll ever know. Anything I've ever asked him to do, even if he didn't want to do it, he did it anyway. Dynamic athlete, can do anything. Now, I can put him in every event in track, he can nail it. He can probably play any position in football, with the exception of offensive line, and probably nail it. Can you do all right down there? I don't know if it's like a cage or not. But I love him and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of his family. Again, these two families have been very special to me because I tell you, you could fill up 2 sections with just these families. I mean, I'm just telling you. But again, be proud of where you're from. Be proud of what you've done, buddy. All right, there's one more thing. Which one of the Gregg kids has a state championship? Stand up if you're a Gregg and you have a state championship ring.